a handsome, icy, jade-like boy, lying embarrassed among the flowers. In the humiliation, a pair of eyes lighter than the moonlight ignited a cluster of cold fire, and his chest was slightly undulating, as if he would fought back at any time. Wei Wuxian looked and was a little stunned. His heart and hands were itchy, and he pinched Lan Wangji's cheek severely, as he expected. The touch was extremely wonderful. He couldn't hold back his strength, leaving 2 red fingerprints on Lan Wangji's snow-white face. Lan Wangji was so angry that he was about to faint on the spot. Seeing such an look, Wei Wuxian's heart was floating and his wicked desire skyrocketed. Now he was not willing to leave for a while. He became addicted and said in a frivolous tone, "Little beauty, be obedient, don't say anything, or I will drag you to the back mountain of your house, strip your clothes, let you naked, and then—" Lan Wangji was stunned for a moment and said hoarsely, "Then what?" This panicked look was a bit cute. The arc of Wei Wuxian's mouth aroused little by little. "Then leave you to the old witch in the mountains, and let the old witch play you for 49 days. Lan Wangji's throat rolled once and said solemnly, "There is no old witch in the back mountain." Wei Wuxian was stunned, and then burst into an earth-shattering laughter. "You deserve to be Gusulan, you little old-fashioned, so funny. It's funny." He rolled on the ground for a while, and the cold sword blade pierced the quiet night. Wei Wuxian was taken aback, and quickly turned over and rolled. In an instant, ice-blue sword light came over the sky. How is it possible? He watched carefully. Some blood fell from Lan Wangji's corners of mouth. He said nothing, and went to fight with him. It was not that Wei Wuxian's skill of tapping acupoints was not good enough. It was indeed that second young master of Gusu Lan clan had never suffered such a big humiliation till now. He was so angry and forced the blood to flow reversely to flush and untie the acupoints. This terrible murderous aura almost directly nailed Wei Wuxian to death on the spot. He was able to avoid an upward violent sword pose reluctantly. The tip of Beechin slashed across his loose hairband. One hook and one touch. The red hairband floated down. He let out a "huh," and in an instant, black hair was like ink silk, scattered on his shoulders. Lan Wangji did not expect that he would pick Wei Wuxian's hair apart. He was also taken aback, and he stopped Beechin immediately. Wei Wuxian touched his head, grabbed a strand casually, pretending to be angry. "This young master, Lan, we are contesting swordsmanship. Why are you so frivolous to me?" Seeing him deliberately distorting the facts, Lan Wangji was even more stunned. Wei Wuxian blinked and continued to molest him. "Why stare at me? Is it pretty that my hair is scattered?" Lan Wangji's face turned pale with anger. "Nonsense!" Spirit power was poured into the blade and attacked him again. Wei Wuxian pulled out Swibian. The sword light on the blue tiles and high eaves was great. The two of them were of equal strength, and no one could win in a short time. "Hey, this young master, you just picked my hair, and now you want to hook my belt again. Do you want to see my appearance of disorderly clothes or my naked body?" Lan Wangji was originally going to attack a place on his chest, but when he heard this, he was ashamed and angry for a while, and abruptly stopped the offensive. Seeing that he was fooled, Wei Wuxian immediately took the advantage of several flaws and immediately gained the upper hand. "Hey, do you want to cut my belt this time? Once the belt is gone, I can't put on my clothes. Young Master Lan, your intentions are a bit wrong, huh? Why do you cut this place? Do you want to see my bare buttocks? Hey, you can only watch it from afar, cannot touch it." Lan Wangji attacked his vital point, and his usual moves turned into obscene behaviors in Wei Wuxian's words. He was such an extremely shameless person. But Lan Wangji couldn't hit him. Lan Wangji was ashamed and angry, holding back for a while, becoming more and more uncontrollable. Wei Wuxian was delighted secretly. He was really a little old-fashioned boy, became shy so easily. He was hooked after being stimulated by 2 or 3 sentences. Wei Wuxian continued to pretend to be wronged on his face, as if he had been molested so that he could not leave any part of clothes on his body, and his naked body was peeped completely by Lan Wangji. Lan Wangji was so angry that the sword was trembling. Wei Wuxian found out it keenly and rushed towards Lan Wangji, using his hands instead of sword to pat Lan Wangji's forehead. Lan Wangji's heart was tightened. His head turned away and avoided. The back of Wei Wuxian's hand slid on his cheek. At that time, the tail of the band of forehead with moiri pattern happened to rise from the temple. Wei Wuxian clamped the band with 2 fingers and pulled it hard, and it was actually torn off. Lan Wangji's expression and figure froze instantly, as if curious about the texture of the band. Wei Wuxian squeezed it in his hand. Lan Wangji's seemed to got hit hard. After shaking for a few times, his voice became hoarse, and he said word by word, "Give back to me." Before the words came to an end, killing intent came overwhelmingly. Never expecting that a light band on his forehead would provoke Lan Wangji to be angry to such a point, Wei Wuxian parried in embarrassment and said stammeringly, You, what are you doing? So angry. My hairband was cut off by you. I just want to borrow a hair tie from you. Why are you so angry? Well, no more fights, no more fights. I give up. Give it back to you. Here you are. Stop." Lan Wangji, who was furious, was about to poke hundreds of holes in his body to release anger. Wei Wuxian was now completely obedient. He put Suibian into the sheath, handed the band respectfully over. Seeing Lan Wangji solemnly tying the band of forehead, Wei Wuxian was surprised greatly. "Your Lan clan is so complicated. There are so many rules related to one band." He squatted on the eaves, holding Suibian in his hands, with an improper posture and an improper expression. He looked at Lan Wangji with gusto. After Lan Wangji tied his band of forehead, he stood there like a pen, staring at Wei Wuxian motionlessly. Wei Wuxian felt that Lan Wangji's gaze would make holes on his body. He thought in the heart, was this person stupid? What I touched just now was indeed a piece of cloth. Not his lifeblood, right? Strange and weird. What I removed was the band on his head, not the clothes he was wearing. He tentatively shook his hand in front of Lan Wangji. "Little old-fashioned? Are you okay?" Lan Wangji's stagnant gaze rolled over his face for a few times, with a little awakening stare. His slender eyelashes trembled lightly, as if he didn't know what to do with him. This person. Could it be that he had been molested too much? His brain was broken. There was such a person that was unable to bear being teased in the world. Wei Wuxian continued to molest. "What's the matter? Are you going to marry me?" After hearing this, Lan Wangji grabbed his collar and was about to drag him away. "Where to go? Where to go?" Lan Wangji didn't say a word and deliberately dragged him all the way along the blue tiles. Wei Wuxian's butt hurted by the tiles. He screamed and begged for mercy. "Young Master Lan, please be merciful." "It's my fault. It's my fault. I apologize to you. All right? I don't want to go back. Let me go. I would rather die than going back to Yunshan." Lan Wangji paused, turned around and said condescendingly, "What do you want?" Wei Wuxian twisted his waist and glanced at him dissatisfiedly. "To tell you the truth, I want to run away." Lan Wangji's hands were loosened, and Wei Wuxian slammed to the ground. "Run away? Well, Uncle Jiang wants me to marry that Lan Wangji. I'm not willing to." Lan Wangji seemed to be startled. His tone could not help but relax a little. "Why not willing?" Wei Wuxian patted the ashes on his buttocks, tore off a piece of cloth from the hem, tied his hair, and said, "Lan Wangji is so arrogant. I have been in Yunshan for a week, but cannot meet him. He has met more than 100 of girls. Right? The girls from the Ni clan and Jin clan were arranged and had been met early. I was from the Yunmeng Jiang clan, and he looked down on me. Uncle Jiang also talked to the old man Lan. The old man said that Lan Wangji was very busy every day and couldn't spare time. I know. He hates me. And he certainly doesn't want his precious nephew to be defiled by me. I told Uncle Jiang that if he didn't want to see me, let's go back to the Lotus Dock. Yunshen has so many rules and terrible food. I can't stay for a moment, but Uncle Jiang refused to let me go, after knowing that I wanted to escape. He told Jiang Cheng to guard me day and night. I finally waited for him to fall asleep and found the opportunity to escape.